Hi Gemini, we're using the Celtic cross spread. Gemini, I've also shuffled for the energy that is your theme for the week. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. And I've also shuffled for what is your guidance. And we'll take a look at that at the end of the reading. I hope you're all doing well. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I thank you all for taking the time to spend your time here with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, let's see what you got going on, dear Gemini. So, Gemini, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Chariot. So, with the Chariot energy here, this is a major arcana. You are focused on having forward movement. You're focused on having victory and control. You're focused on overcoming your obstacles. You're focused on having progress. You are very determined to have things the way you like it. You focus on balancing your emotions. And so your theme is you have sexual attraction. And so with this energy, I feel, Gemini, that many of you are very focused on how you look. And not just how you look, you're focused on attracting. You want to be attractive sexually. You want to attract sexually. You want to be sexually attractive. And that is your focus. So you're focusing on your look. You may be changing your hair, changing what you're wearing. You may be focusing on, you might be dieting, or you're just making changes because you're focusing on trying to be sexy. You want to be more attractive. That is your theme for the week. You focus on being attractive, being sexy, being alluring, being eye candy and shit. Good for you, Gemini. Do it. So you also have friend. So I feel with this energy, Gemini, is that you have been taking the time, or you're taking the time to build on your friendships that you have. I feel that you may not have necessarily been doing that. Not that you don't have friendships, but I think that you're spending more time nurturing your friendships, building your friendships, um, building more of a closeness. You may be getting together, doing more activities, um, communicating more, talking more, hanging out more, but you're focusing on your friendships and seeing what you can do with that. Another nice thing. Okay, what are you targeting here, Gemini? So, Gemini, your situation is the Queen of Swords. So this is either you or you are dealing with someone embodying this energy, male or female, with this Queen of Swords. This is air energy. And with this Queen of Swords, this is someone who is operating from a place of logic, who's clear-minded, who's decisive, making decisions, is strategizing, is being cunning, communicative, being having I feel like you like having more to say. You're allowing yourself to be more available. I feel with this Queen of Swords is that you've gone through a lot. You've gone through a lot of bullshit, Gemini, for one reason or another. And you're at a place now where you're focused on not really going through bullshit anymore. You focus on having forward movement. You focused on looking good, feeling good. You focused on trying to enjoy yourself, to have more fun, to have better experiences. I feel like you've been planning more excursions. I'm hearing the word excursions, um, where you are possibly traveling more, okay? Perhaps with your friends. You have been focused on, you've been making plans. I feel like you have been in a fog. You see these clouds? You've been in a fog, or someone you're dealing with you feel is in a fog, and you're trying to clear the air. You're trying to make them see clearly, either see you and see what they're missing or what they're gonna miss, or you are no longer planning to be missing in action. Like, you planning to get out there and be a part of shit in a way that you probably wasn't. I feel that with this Queen of Swords, whatever you had going on before, I don't feel that you may not take pleasure in it as much as you did before, or something's happened where it feels like you're emotionally disconnected from someone. You may have emotionally disconnected from someone, perhaps a relationship that you're not feeling right now. And I say that because what's on your mind is this King of Cups. And so this might be the person that you're thinking about, the person you're in relationship with. That this could be you. And if this is you, you're thinking about, being mature and being emotionally balanced. You focused on your family. You're focused on getting your emotions balanced, doing things that you like to do to get you there. Your emotions may have been really rocky, as it has to do with dealing with family or a relationship. And if it's to do with, your lover or who you're in a committed relationship with or involved with, you're thinking about them, and emotionally you're in a rocky place regarding that person. You're not really feeling emotionally balanced or emotionally secure, or to say the least, you're not really fucking happy with who you're dealing with right now for some reason. Okay, there is trouble in paradise. And so in the recent past, you had the Four of Pentacles, so you felt stuck, you felt confined. Things may have gone stale, okay, in home, or you may have felt stuck by the security and stability that you've built or that you've had or been maintaining. But somehow you felt stuck in the past. Okay? In your world. And you're mad about it. Look at that. Can you see that? You're mad about it. You've been feeling stuck. I feel like you've been feeling stuck for a while. And you're mad about it. Okay? And this I feel is to do with home. This is to do with home, to do with your relationship. Could have to do with family, because where you're at right now is the Four of Wands. So this is about home and family, but this is about celebrations. Someone could have just gotten married. Perhaps that's something that just happened that you're dealing with to take your mind off of shit a little bit. Or some sort of special celebratory event has taken place that you've partaken in. That could be something of where you're at right now. But with this Four of Wands, there is some sort of harmonious place you're at within yourself, perhaps with another or others, where your actions or actions that have been taken have resulted in successful completion. in harmony. And so your challenge, Gemini, is this Page of Swords. And with this Page of Swords, pages talk about messages. Pages could be about a child. But with this being a challenge with the Page of Swords, is this could be some news that could come in that could affect you, that you may not like. This may be news that, is cutting and harsh, but it is still true, right? The challenge also could be with this Page of Swords is that you might have a challenge with communication with others. You could have a challenge with this Page of Swords with implementing some new thought. With the Page of Swords, you may have a challenge with protecting your interests or something that you're guarding or protecting over. With that Page of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. So you may have a challenge with being able to have something work out, you may have a challenge with communicating where you get cooperation and support and successful achievement around something that brings you emotional happiness, or that brings emotional happiness to all who would be involved. With this Three of Cups energy, but yeah, there is some sort of challenge in communication. There's some sort of challenge with news. You may even be trying to cut something away. But this challenge is something that you are trying to have support, and you are trying to have some sort of completion, achievement, perhaps even a celebration. This could be a challenge around a get-together with others. This could be a challenge of being on the same page with others emotionally. And so the way that you see yourself is the Fool. And with the Fool energy, you are focused on having new beginnings. You're focused on being optimistic. You're focused on trying new things. You're focused on taking a little bit of a risk. Okay? You're focused on trying to have a new start, go in a new direction. How you're being seen by others is the Star. So you're being seen as someone who is focused on trying to heal. You're focused on having hope, and you're focused on having wish fulfillment. You might even be seen as someone who's a visionary, trying to remain calm. And so what's in the future for you is you got this Knight of Swords. And so knights bring about events. And with this Knight of Swords here, Gemini, you're looking to take action. There's something you're looking to cut away. There's action you're looking to take to bring about some sort of change through communication, through a plan, through a strategy. But with the Knight of Swords, you want to be careful not to be too hasty, not to be too abrupt, not to be too harsh in your communication or too aggressive. You want to be assertive, firm but fair, and you want your communication to be effective and not cause more harm than good to your situation. So your innermost feelings and emotions is you have this Three of Pentacles. So you want things to work out. You're trying to build something new. You're trying to have a new foundation. You're trying to create something. With this Three of Pentacles. And you want what you're working on to come together right. You want it to come together just right. You want it to all just come together and work out. Because you're working on something. You're working hard on it. You're trying to build it. You want to build something new. Perhaps you have new creative projects. You're trying to have new experiences. You're trying to create something new and fresh in your relationship. Perhaps you're looking to be more attractive to your partner. Or perhaps if you're single, you're looking to attract a partner. But your outcome is you got the Hermit. And so with the Hermit, this is a major arcana. The Hermit is about analyzing, seeking answers. You may be looking to seek solitude and retreat from distraction in order to meditate, to recharge your batteries. But the Hermit talks about analyzing, seeking answers. You may be having some sort of inner reflection, self-examination. And with that Hermit, you have the Page of Wands. So you may be reflecting on trying to go in a new direction, to have a new path open up to yourself, and trying to see the answers on how to create that and make that happen. But also, I feel that there is a concern because the Page of Wands is not looking at the Hermit, and nor is the Hermit looking at the Page of Wands. So I feel that you may be looking at how to see what new action to take. But I also feel there's a need for you to be careful, not to be immature, and not to be too impulsive in your actions and behavior with whatever you're doing or who you may communicate with, or as it has to do with you seeking answers or with what you are analyzing. So it's like with the Hermit, be careful what you're looking for. Because what you think you're looking for or trying to find may not exactly be what you want to uncover or open up or get started with. Interesting concept, Gemini. To look a little more deeply at this Knight of Swords, with that Knight of Swords you have the Nine of Cups. So you are focused on trying to take action that brings you happiness, brings you wish fulfillment, brings you satisfaction in a situation. So you want to be careful not to overindulge, not to overdo something through your actions, or being so focused on having your wish fulfillment or satisfaction that you will be brutal in how you take action to ensure having it. Because what are you cutting down, or what are you going after, or what are you coming up against or going towards in order to do it? That is the question. But maintain emotional balance. And so let's take a look at what your guidance is, Gemini. You have 3 cards. You have Love Abounds. So you have the love and support of others. And I feel like you should focus a little more on that. It feels like you're not doing that, and you may need to focus on the love that you have around you and not so much focused on the love you're trying to attract. For those that resonates with, you know what that means. You also have control. That is your guidance. So with this control as your guidance, what exactly are you trying to force here? What exactly are you trying to manage? What are you trying to construct? What are you trying to have in order to? Are you being controlling? Are you mindful of your control or the kind of control you're wielding? Or are you focused on just that? Being in control. Be mindful of the power you wish to have, because much is required. And you have darkest fears. Perhaps you need to get control over your darkest fears, over your worries and concerns that may very well be unfounded, because this is the Nine of Swords energy. What is it that you're concerned about? Perhaps that which you are trying to control in order to avoid your darkest fears, you may very well be controlling and creating it instead. Be careful about your darkest fears and how you are fueled by what you are trying to do and control. And remember that no matter what, allow love to abound in all you say and do and be. I hope these messages help. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Gemini. And thanks for watching. Bye.